Strasbourg, 1518. In the middle of a hot summer, this busy European city was about to witness something so strange that historians are still debating it more than 500 years later. At first, everything looked completely normal. Merchants opened their stalls, people walked through the narrow streets, and children played between the timber-framed houses. Then, according to historical accounts, a woman named Frau Troffea walked into the street, and suddenly, she stopped. She began to dance. Not for entertainment, not because music was playing, she simply started moving. Witnesses described something deeply disturbing. She appeared unable to control herself. At first, people watched. Some laughed, others whispered. Most probably assumed she would eventually stop. Her family tried to help her, but the dancing continued. Hours passed. Then evening came, and somehow, she was still dancing. When the sun rose the next morning, the strange spectacle had not ended. Her body was becoming exhausted, yet she continued moving. And then something even stranger happened. Other people began dancing too. What began with one woman was becoming a bizarre public outbreak. Families stood at the edges of the streets, watching in fear, as adults seemed to lose control of their own bodies. Merchants abandoned their stalls. Ordinary life began to stop. Nobody understood what was happening. Eventually, word reached Strasbourg's authorities. Officials gathered to discuss the impossible problem, but they had no modern medicine, no scientific explanation, and no idea how to stop it. Physicians examined the dancers, but nothing obvious explained why people were moving this way. Some people believed the outbreak had a supernatural cause. Others believed it could be divine punishment. But the authorities made a decision that sounds unbelievable today. They reportedly believed that if the dancers continued moving, the sickness might eventually leave their bodies. So musicians were brought in, and the city provided a place where the dancers could continue. The strange outbreak reportedly grew larger, with accounts describing hundreds of people becoming involved. And somewhere inside the growing crowd was Frau Troffea, the woman whose mysterious dance may have started it all. But the human body can only take so much. People became exhausted. Some collapsed. Others desperately searched for water and rest. Physicians watched helplessly as exhaustion replaced whatever strange energy had driven the outbreak. Centuries later, one possible explanation emerged. Some researchers suggested ergot poisoning, a fungus that can grow on contaminated grain and produce powerful chemicals. But Strasbourg was also suffering from poverty, hunger, and terrible living conditions. And the people of the city lived in a world where disease and disaster were often interpreted through religion and superstition. Some historians believe extreme stress may have played a major role. Eventually, the authorities appear to have realized that encouraging the dancing was making things worse. The dancing platform was removed, the musicians were sent away, and some dancers were reportedly taken to religious sites, where prayers and rituals were used in the hope of ending the strange condition. Slowly, the dancing began to disappear. Frau Troffea eventually stopped too. The marketplace that had once been filled with hundreds of moving bodies became quiet again. But someone wrote the story down. Today, historians can still study the accounts of what happened in Strasbourg that summer. But the biggest question remains unanswered. Why did they dance? Was it contaminated food? Mass psychological illness? Extreme stress? Or something we still don't understand? More than 500 years later, the dancing plague of 1518 remains one of history's strangest unsolved mysteries.